Okay, we good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Super Steam. I had to go into like a scene that I already had made and hide all the graphics, so we'll just have to figure that out when we come to it. I don't know what happened. I just looked over there and it's not our normal two-person. We're like smaller than normal in the open. I don't know what's happening.
Did you accidentally click something while you were doing a Twisted Tea Time with Deke stream and
No.
maybe hit it by accident?
No, because I have them all as separate scene selections. I have Best Friend Panic Show, The Deke Show,
Okay.
Draft
Okay.
Day, Rankings Court,
Okay.
Trial, which is
Okay.
the Sunday morning show, Twisted Tea Stream,
Okay.
Two Beers Deep, and then two other ones that I don't use that I should probably just delete.
Way to be organized, man. That's not something you get enough credit for, I must say.
It's comes with the territory. Also, I've picked a side. You didn't mention it yet.
I see you've picked a side. Well, I also kind of assumed as well with the color of the headphones, the color of the chair, the color of your keyboard, the color
the
of
best
possibly
iced tea drink on the planet.
I mean, like, I kind of assumed you were going that route as well, but I digress on that one.
You digress a lot.
I do digress a lot. I'm on the side of Pitt, so whoever wins, which both teams have guys from Pitt, so I'm okay.
Who's more Pitt? Chipster says, see his room. What about my room? Or Greg's room? My room.
I was like, wait a sec.
Deke just bought that hat because of the Super Bowl. Actually, fun fact, it is a corduroy hat that I got at a Salvation Army in San Antonio, Texas for $6. And it says
Yep, I can't.
Los Angeles Rams. There's even a thread.
You had this for a while.
Thank you, Brett.
So yeah.
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 Screw you, Ping. Thank you, Brett. I love this hat. Yeah, it's an old John, bro. Look at this tag.
Not many people can pull off a corduroy hat.
Officially
so.
licensed product.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Yeah, made in Taiwan too. Yeah.
It's even got stuff missing on the inside, Ping. It's a real
I didn't think corduroy was something that could be one size fits all, but apparently you prove it wrong.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say I didn't think corduroy was something that could be one size fits all, but apparently that was proven wrong.
Fair. Chip was talking about my room being organized. My room here is fairly. I have the necessities here. Dad, there's your hat, by the way. There's his Oakland Athletics hat.
Yeah, it's prominently placed as well. Also, yeah, with perfect product placement underneath it, so you can't go wrong with that.
And shot
no.
412 and Creative Drink and a candle, and 412
Everything.
and a candle. It's a big
Well,
day.
I mean, you have a candle. You have a candle in every room, though, don't you?
They're burnt out. I need to get new ones.
Ah.
I run those. I run them.
Then.
Run them like Usain Bolt. Greg, how's your day before we crack beers and talk sports? How was Greg Malik today? Because I think the people care more about how you're doing than me.
I'm doing all right, although I'm facing a crisis right now that a member of my family has decided to go to the dark side and decided to get pets that are of the feline variety.
Let's unpack that before we start into the show. So your brother,
My brother.
Let's start way back in the back. You hate cats.
I hate cats.
Okay.
Do
Let's
not like
start
cats.
right there.
My dad
Great
had
man.
cats growing up. Had cats growing up.
Great man.
Had I think he said 5 different cats growing up. Not at the same time. My dad was not a crazy cat person, but he had 5 different cats like one at a time.
Greg.
One at a time. My mother does not like cats. So clearly I got that from her. I got that from her. I am allergic to cats. Okay. Learned that the hard way when I visited a good friend of ours up in Somerset who had 2 cats at the time.
Shout out to Dick Babe.
And I also still deal with it when I visit his brother and his 2 cats as well. So I am not fond of cats. So finding out that my brother has decided to join the dark side, if you will,
walk me through how did they let you know?
I'm at work, sitting at my desk. This desk that you see me currently at right now.
This desk right here?
This desk right here is where I work. Yes, this is the same thing. About an hour before I was going to go over his place, because on my lunch break, I go to my brother's and I work out. Okay, that's how the situation I was. He texted me because he was off today, and he said, "Hey, just to let you know, Sarah and I got 2 cats last night," and I'm like, "Okay."
I do have to say this.
He's like,
for everyone that loves Such the Bench, different Sarah. I just
Different
want
Sarah,
to
yes,
clarify.
yes.
I
Different
apologize.
Sarah.
I just want to say, for anybody that follows our lives, we're big famous people. No, but we talk a lot about our personal stuff on here.
We are very different Sarah. Yes. Very, very, very different Sarah. Yes. And I said, where are they? And he said, they're confined to my room. Just so you know, they're not going to be out when you come over. And I'm like, okay, because if I take an allergy pill now, it's not going to go into effect by the time I get there. So I appreciate that. So now I got to remember every time I go to my brother's, I have to take an allergy pill just to work out, which is not something I'm necessarily fond of, but make do what you do.
Not one, but two, though. Yeah, 2 cats. And Denny says Greg loves all of the kitties. Big kitty guy, Greg.
God help me.
You might not be a kitty guy, Greg, but you are a beer guy.
I am a beer guy.
3.
Shout out to our former producer, by the way, who decided to have a fun take after I sent that to you, too. So, this is my nightmare.
3, 2, 1, action. And Greg, see, this can's loose, too. What the heck, Frugal? What are you drinking?
Boy, I got a problem with the place that you're getting beer from.
So here's the thing: is normally I get it from the basement of my building. Smalls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 bits. Smalls, my God.
Thank you, kind sir.
So I'll start. I'm drinking High Wire, High Wire Brewing,
okay.
High Pitch Mosaic. The can is gross and dirty, and I hate it, and it's very frustrating. I think people dropped all these cans because the top's here. I go to Frugal McDougal. That's a real place.
Great name.
Amazing name. But
yeah,
I think that, and I'm going to get a cup because this can's sticky, and I'm drinking 2 of these, obviously.
Okay.
If I get beer in my basement of my building, it's a little 6-pack shop. It's fine, but it's like $14 for a 6-pack of good beer or whatever. Frugals, I got 3 6-packs, that's 6, 12, 18 beers for $30. So that's less than $2 a beer.
Right. And it's good beer, too.
And it's good beer,
Can't go wrong
too.
with that.
But because these two, the 2 that I grabbed, are like high, I think somebody grabbed them and dropped them. But they didn't explode everywhere, and they're still good. Paying for swearing like a sailor on Monday, Smalls? Yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Greg, why don't you tell the lovely people at home what you're drinking while I grab a glass for this beer?
Sir, I am drinking a favorite of my co-host, which I will say again when we come here from 11th Hour Brewing in Lawrenceville. The original Nocturnal Rainbow Coffee Milk Stout. Check out the eyes on that owl, folks. It looks like the waiting sign as you're loading for a Mac. And you can't go wrong with that either. 11th Hour, baby.
Also, shout out to Ty and Jackie. I picked their wedding glass.
Look at that.
So, big day. Something funny about this wedding glass, Greg. When we left the reception, which was at Jackie's stepfather's place, I realized that I did not take the ceremonial glass that had their name on it, but I actually had just stolen a blank bar glass from his house. I thought I had a wedding glass. In my hand was just a blank pub glass, so...
I'm trying to figure out if that makes it more special or not, since you technically stole it.
Well, so I left it at their apartment, and they got me a new one with the wedding stuff on it.
Okay. So realistically, you got the thrill of being able to say I stole a glass.
Well, I got the confusion of not understanding why they gave me a gag glass to learn that I was just an idiot.
But then also having the decency to get you a ceremonial glass, because that is definitely a very cool wedding gift, I must say.
Exactly. All right, Greg, let's talk a little... Wow. We'll deal with that later. Let's talk a little sports, my guy. Let's start off conference champion review, Greg. I think that you said this first. You think this was the greatest season in NFL history. I don't want to misquote you. You said something along those lines.
So during divisional weekend, I said it was the best... It was the best 4-game stretch I've ever seen as a football fan in my life.
But even during the season, even during the season, you were excited because you said there's no clear-cut best team for first time since you've watched football, and you were very excited about that.
There's not. I could have made a case for a lot of teams coming in this year, but I can tell you I did not think what I saw this weekend actually was going to happen.
Why is that?
I didn't see it. No matter how likable some of these guys are, especially on the Cincinnati Bengals team, I never thought I would see the day that they would go into Arrowhead, beat Patrick Mahomes when they were down 21-3 at one point, and find a way to win. I texted you as soon as the game ended, and I said I'm shook.
Very shook.
I didn't know what to make of this. The Patrick Mahomes went from two completely different guys coming out of halftime. I don't know what the heck happened to him. I mean, and so many people are crediting the Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator just from going to more of a cover 3 look instead of what they were looking at previously. And I guess that's something to be said for it. But like, this is freaking Patrick Mahomes. You would think that he would be able to understand how to read defenses better and then adjust to it, wouldn't he?
I think that I don't think your take is incorrect, but here's what I'll say. It's easier, and this is what, it's the old adage, it's easier to make adjustments when you're the team that has already previously lost. So going into the game, the Chiefs made adjustments for what they saw last time against the Bengals, and it really worked. Coming out of halftime, the Bengals made better adjustments to what they saw with the Chiefs. So it's funny, because I think that the Chiefs-Bengals game in the regular season wasn't the perfect. I don't think it was an outlier, but I didn't think it was a proper representation. If these two teams played 100 times, the Bengals would not win. You know what I mean?
No.
But coming out of this game, the one thing I will say is that the Bengals might have one of the most underappreciated coaching staffs in the league, and they've made adjustments every step of the way, and I can't hate them. This is the worst offensive line you've ever seen in a Super Bowl, I believe you said as well?
Yes, this is the absolute worst offensive line I've ever seen in the Super Bowl. And I have seen 2 really bad Steelers offensive lines win Super Bowls. That's saying something. Like, this offensive line is not good at all. I don't understand how we have gotten to this point, but apparently, like, when we were screaming to the heavens for them to draft an offensive line to protect Joe Burrow, everyone else said no.
Are you glad we were so miserably wrong on Chase and Sewell? I'm glad we were wrong.
Well, here's the thing. I still think Penei Sewell is a very good tackle. Don't get me wrong on this.
I do too. He's been playing right. He needs to be moved to left. I agree with you. I don't think it would have been a bad pick, but it wasn't the right pick.
No, but it's but God damn it, this is so fun to see Ja'Marr Chase just doing work. It is amazing. It is. I can't help it. And we all were kind of like coming into the year, like we were so unsure about this wide receiver class because at the time we thought, is Ja'Marr Chase really going to be that good after taking an entire year off?
That is a big year off, yeah.
Yes, it is. Your junior year, taking a whole year off when you're supposed to put even more tape on. Yes, that's a big deal.
Big moment in life right now, Greg. We have a comment. But it's not just a comment. It's a comment from Natty.
Oh,
Natty,
okay.
What's up, buddy? Natty said, are we pretending that we didn't love Jackson Mahomes' season is over too? And Mrs. Mahomes, who was on screen. Glad they're both done. Natty, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you're back here in the comment section. Brett writes in, Herbert and Burrow are showing you that getting the QB is more important. I think that getting your quarterback, getting the right quarterback, because Justin Herbert was going to be taken arguably by, I think, ahead of Daniel Jones as the Giants. But then he went back to school and was in the next draft.
Yes.
Or there's something along those where, Herbert found his correct situation. Justin Herbert goes to the Giants. He's not Justin Herbert.
Taken.
Yes.
He was the third quarterback taken. But I would digress here, though, real quick, is that the Chargers also got their left tackle in this past draft in Rashawn Slater, who's a monster.
Agreed, but Herbert looked good rookie year.
Herbert did look very good rookie year as well. I will say that, but it goes back to the adage that I bring up all the time is the logic is you get your franchise quarterback, you get your guy to protect him, and you get the guy to attack the other team. So it's how it is. But the Bengals decided to go a completely different route, and it apparently worked out.
You get your quarterback, you get the guy that's his best friend that he wants to throw the ball to, and then next year they'll get the guy they go after.
Yeah, but let's also kind of bring this up too that I got to give credit to the Bengals in this case too, because they did a really good job getting the right free agents for this team. Really good job. Trey Hendrickson was a guy that was due. I'm furious they have Mike Hilton too, because we got screwed over with our salary cap. If we were able to hold on for one more year, I would have loved to have kept Mike Hilton, but didn't work out. Trey Hendrickson turned into a sleeper pick. He was very good in New Orleans, but I wasn't expecting him to be this good. Chidobe Awuzie is turning out to be very good for them as well. So, man, this is a much more talented team than I think a lot of people thought coming into this year too. So that's credit. And I saw this. And I saw like a couple stats too that blew my mind. Like the Bengals were projected to have the 4th worst record in the NFL.
Oh, 100%.
This year
no one had them even making the playoffs.
No, by betting odds too. And then I also saw this amazing stat as well, is that Joe Burrow apparently could be the first quarterback ever to win the Heisman, win the national championship, and win the Super Bowl in 3 years.
Well, the first to just do it, and he's doing it in 3 years. Natty writes in, "Hi guys, glad to be back. You know, life happens. Glad you are all well and thriving. Love you guys. Natty, we love to see you, buddy. Love that you're back here and appreciate the shiz-nizzle out of you." Let's talk about the other game. So we obviously, spent some time here on Bengals Chiefs. I personally believe Shanahan is a top 5 coach right now, Greg, because what he's built in San Francisco has been dang near to consistent as we've ever seen. Like, he's had an outlier year where they ended up getting Bosa, and they had some high picks there. But I think that what I mean to say is they have built something that every other team wants, which is a machine that can continuously be reloaded. And I think that it's a dangerous thing for the rest of the NFL. It sucks they lost this game, as you can tell from, 20 minutes ago. I'm a massive Rams fan. And I'm so glad the Rams are there, and, big Stafford guy. Actually, I am. But
yeah,
the 49ers are you can't tell me you thought they were going to make it this far, is how I'm going to word it. You know what I mean?
I think they were the sexy pick coming into it because of the run that they had getting to get to the playoffs. I think, and you heard it on every single sports channel, whether it be NFL Network, whether it be ESPN, whether it be Fox Sports, even though who watches Fox Sports, let's not kid ourselves. But everyone in their right mind was saying that the 49ers are a dangerous matchup and they're a matchup problem for every team and stuff because they're not afraid to run the ball, in all seriousness. And in a league and in a time and age where running the football is kind of like I don't want to say it's passe, but it's not sexy. It's like, it's not something that people kind of strive for, but in actuality, it's probably one of the most simplest ways to build a team well enough. And I look at this team. The O-line's great. They have
McGlinchey,
they have a great
Williams.
Stable. Yeah. Even without Debo, they have a great stable of running backs. I still truly do believe that I have nothing wrong with Jimmy G still being there, in my opinion, but getting a quarterback early on and then just have him not do anything this year and then have them go through the playoffs and now he could take over at this case, that's big. That's big. And they have a system built already around it to make sure that he can succeed if he wants to.
I think that moving on from San Francisco is going to be tough because Jimmy G is working with Lynch. Like, the team is like, dude, we're not just going to buck you off. You're not going to some crappy franchise. Like, we're going to make this work for all of us. But at the end of the day, the team does have to do what's best for them because Jimmy G still has a year left on that massive deal, which makes me honestly think, like, there's a couple teams, man. I mean, hear me out instantly, Greg. The Bucks need a quarterback, and they probably have some money to mess with. I think that, and what I'm getting at is there's some teams that just need a bridge because of their situation. Seattle moves on from Russ. Jimmy Garoppolo is a great 2-year guy for them. You look at the Packers. Jordan Love doesn't feel like it's it, even though they're probably going to go with him. You know what I mean? But I think he's one of the best stopgap guys available in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think if he also accepts the fact too that he can be a stopgap, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. No. I think we don't give Jimmy G enough credit for how stable of a quarterback he is. I think there's all these jokes out there about how, like he was going to be the guy to replace Brady and he wasn't having that. Then he gets out of town, then he dates a porn star, and then it's just like all these jokes coming out of everywhere. He gets injured often and all that. He doesn't wow you necessarily. He he falls in the line of the quarterback that will do everything in his power to not lose a game.
Yes, 100%.
But there's nothing wrong. But there's nothing wrong with that as long as you are on a team that can support that. You know, there was nothing wrong with Jared Goff doing that with the Rams because the Rams had a team around him that was able to make it work. But it was when they had to take that next step, that's when it had to become an issue.
Natty writes in, if Bengals win, we need to Get the Gat song by Lil Out featuring Joe Burrow. And even if I hate the Bengals, I want my SRU friend Darren's brother, Boyd. So Tyler Boyd's brother. No way, Natty. I didn't know that about you.
Nice. I did not know that either.
Let's stumble over to the Super Bowl preview, just because we got a loaded show with a ton of topics, and we're already 20 minutes in, so we want to get going. Super Bowl preview.
Yes.
I'm going to say it out loud. I completely forgot until today about the Zach Taylor-Sean McVay relationship until I was making these graphics.
I did too.
And I was like, oh, my God.
I did too.
That's why he got hired in Cincy, is because he was McVay's.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It's the Sean McVay coaching tree. It's like the new favorite coaching tree in the NFL.
I mean,
now.
it's amazing.
Wild, isn't it?
It's amazing. And I think that the biggest thing here to keep in mind, so if you look at traditional coaching trees, the guy's been there forever. He has his guys get picked. He gets his own guys again. I mean, Saban's coaching tree is very much like guys that have been with him for years and then go, right?
Right.
The interesting
Your
thing,
personal
yeah.
I was going to say your personal favorite, the Andy Reid coaching tree.
I love the Andy Reid coaching tree.
It's so ridiculous.
But all of those coaching trees are guys that spent years with those coaches, right? And they earned their stripes. What we're seeing in the NFL now is a group of young grinders that are so obsessed with football that they are accepting the fact that, hey, I'm going to learn on my own and we're going to get there. And that's the McVay coaching tree. It's literally a bunch of college kids on Adderall finishing their papers because they can and getting A's. And it's crazy. Shout out to Mama Whiten. Thank you, Mom. Coming with the Tier 1 gifted sub to Pingree. Mom, look.
Yeah.
That's serendipitous because this is their wedding glass.
Celebrate. By the way, Mama Whiten, whatever you heard previously, neither of us did Adderall. Just letting you know about that.
No,
Never.
I don't know. No, get out of here. Why would you even say it? Mama also subscribed with her Tier 1. She's been subscribed for 11 months. Next month is a year, Mom. We need a birthday cake.
That's dedication right there.
But back to this. I'm excited to see these two coaches go head-to-head and more excited to see these two quarterbacks go head-to-head. Joe Burrow against Matt Stafford.
Icy.
I don't think, LOL, never, Mom, never. I don't think there's a player in the NFL right now outside of one name, and I'm interested to see if you can name this name, that deserves a Super Bowl more than Matt Stafford. There's a couple names, but there's one name that I think you should guess.
There's a couple.
Run through them. Just start naming.
Quite frankly, Aaron Donald deserves a ring.
Okay, not the name,
Especially after he sacks Jimmy Garoppolo, he stares at the crowd and just points at his finger saying that he wants a ring. That's hard.
It's got to be tough to be the absolute best. So there's Tom Brady, who's like the best football player ever, and then there's Aaron Donald, who's arguably the best football player ever. And the difference there is one knew how to work the game and the other was just
7 rings.
Better. No, not who I was thinking. Name some other names.
That deserve the ring that are in this game.
No, not in this game.
Oh, not in this game.
Players that's what Matt Stafford, in my mind, deserves a ring more than any player in the NFL other than one name. Aaron Donald's a really good call, even if you thought it was just in this game. I agree with you there, but
I'm not sure. Now that I think about it.
Think, man. Toss out some names.
Are
there any players in the NFL you think deserve a ring more than Matt Stafford?
More than Matt Stafford, God.
Because I got one, Greg.
I mean, I could see Matt Ryan potentially deserving it.
Not the one. I think he deserves it, but not more than Stafford.
Not more than Stafford.
Keaton says, "What is that hat?" What? Keaton, is this triggering you?
It's called fashion, man. Like,
Look
get with it.
Vo in the comment section. Do not look at the comments, Greg. He named the name that I'm thinking of.
Ooh, okay.
There's a reason that you and Vo would both know this guy's name. I love this hat, Keaton.
Pick guy.
He's still in the league.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He did not retire yet, Keaton. He did not officially retire yet.
You would think that he did, because I honestly thought for sure that he would have by now, but he never came out with an actual statement saying that he was.
Natty, Brandon Marshall is not still playing. He actually has a really good podcast with Ocho Cinco. I would check out. Larry isn't active. So Larry isn't active, but he is still in the NFL. He is not retired. Like, he is still a member of the Cardinals. The interesting, okay, all you jagoffs in the comment section. Marshawn Lynch retired, and the team still owned his rights.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, he's one of the guys.
It's like the thing I pointed out with Calvin Johnson last week, where Calvin Johnson's rights were traded to New England in case he ever wanted to come back.
Slow Pound said, I think the link is broken. I think he was one of the ones I sent the link to, Greg. This is called guerrilla marketing, guys. Write it down. Denny says Larry to Pittsburgh. Bet on it. I will take that bet, Denny. Whatever you want, whatever line you want to give me.
See if anyone can actually spell gorilla correctly. Just out of curiosity, I'm curious about that.
Harambe.
Not that gorilla. The one that you're referring to.
They did not own his chickens and his mentals, though. They did not own his chickens or his mentals. So, guys, we'll do a much bigger Super Bowl preview next week. No reason to dive into it now.